Well, here we are. We've just stopped at a place called Bundaberg, where the big giraffe is over there. Bundaberg. And Mum's gone across because they advertise the best coffee. So she's gone across there to get a coffee. And we're just going to chill out here and enjoy this little rest stop. It's 9:30. We've been travelling since 7 AM. And we left Yeppoon at 7 AM and we're on our way now to Bundaberg. There's our beautiful baby there, along with others, in the little town of Bundaberg. So we've travelled 200k and we've got about 160 to go. So we'll be there just after lunch, hopefully. All's good, let's enjoy the cough. Well, this is going to be something different. Aren't the birds chirping beautifully? 26 today, lovely day. The buffoons are baffled. What caused them? Volcanoes, meteors, UFOs, water? Who knows? What do you reckon? Well, we're going to go and have a look. We're here at a place at South Colon, which is about 30k out of Bundaberg. And it's called the Mystery Craters. So we're going to find out what the mystery's all about. Bloody hell! Where'd he come from? Mystery Craters. We'll go up to the top and have a look at these buggers, eh? See what it's all about. Yes, Professor.
The scientific person here.
Wait a minute, I haven't started. Yes, I have, sorry.
No, that was a good one. A lot of scientists believe that these craters were made by a volcanic shower, a meteorite shower, sorry. Some of them, notice the pipe which goes to a pump on the top of a well, 16 metres deep. Where is the good water supply? See, down here?
I did.
That one?
That's amazing.
What's this one? Oh, that one's got all bird droppings on.
One doesn't know how they got here at all. And as I said before, they don't know how deep they are because they can't find the bottom.
And
truly amazing.
The rock is sandstone.
Yeah, I've said that, and red ochre from Western Australia. Now these craters, these mystery craters, are 26 million, over 26 million years old. They're formed from sandstone, which is found along the beaches and the east coast of Australia, and red ochre, or ochre, red ochre, which is only available in the middle of Australia, Nullarbor area. And they don't know why or how these got here. And this one, yeah, I got it. And this one here, strange enough, doesn't have a bottom. They've tried measuring the depth of all these things with scientific equipment.
This one dries out.
Oh, this one dries out. None of the craters are actually interlinked to one another. A weird formation indeed. Nobody knows. Really makes you wonder. A lot of them up there have got nothing in them. Some are dry. But yes, how did they get here? That's what one needs to know. Amazing. Well, it looks like another beautiful sunny day here in lovely Queensland. And we're here nice and early at 9 AM in Bundaberg to have a look at the Bert Hinkler Hall of Aviation. Hopefully they'll have Bert Hinkler's plane in here. And then after the Bert Hinkler plane, we've got some historical house over there behind it. So let's check it out, shall we? On a beautiful 27-degree sunny day, no wind. Sunny Queensland. Well, we're in the Hinkler Hall of Aviation. Bert Hinkler did two things apart from fighting in the war as a squadron leader. He's got 2 world records from Sydney to Bundaberg. He was only 5'4" tall, which wasn't very tall. And his aeroplane was an Avro Baby. And this is the Avro Baby behind me. How the heck he flew this thing, for a starter, in all that weather, no protection from the weather, is astounding. It's not a real big plane. It may look so here, but it's not. It's very fragile. And as for the motor, I'll show you whilst I tell you a bit about it. He also flew from England to Italy. And in the race from England to Australia, he got second, I think behind Charles Kingsford Smith. Have a look at this motor in here if I can zoom in on it. There's nothing of it. And it's just open to all weather. Unbelievable. When he flew Sydney to Bundaberg in this, he actually flew a distance, Sydney to Bundaberg, I think that was the one, was a distance of 650 miles. I'll try and get this right. A distance of 650 miles. And he did it on 90 litres of petrol. Unbelievable. He was also a squadron leader in the war, and he flew a Spitfire, the city of Bundaberg, and that's the one that he flew. And there you are. That's the story of Herbert Winkler. Fighter pilot, squadron leader, and finished up being the test pilot for all future Avro Baby aircraft in Australia.
Born on December 8, 1892, and over the next few years, Woodbine Cottage would also become home to Bert's younger siblings, May, John, George and Francis. The Hinkler children all attended North Bundaberg School, where Bert studied hard and did well. The school overlooked a series of lagoons where ibis would often come to drink. Watching these birds, Bert realised that on the ground they were awkward, gangly creatures, but once in the air, magnificent. He was fascinated with flight and pored over boys' magazines and journals, devouring everything about the new science of aviation and the technicalities of flight. In 1903, the Wright brothers proved that man could fly, and young Hinkler was eager to join these early pioneers by building his very own flying contraption. His initial effort was called the Aviette, a pair of wings worn like a jacket. However, optimism is no substitute for science, and this invention never got off the ground. Undeterred, Bert began a detailed study of ibis, and using his newfound understanding of their aerofoil-shaped wings, began constructing a fixed-wing glider in the garage. Frances Hinkler could sense her son's determination and, despite the very real dangers of flying, encouraged this quest throughout his life. Theirs was truly a unique bond of affection. She helped tow Bert's fragile homemade aircraft on the 15-kilometre journey down to nearby Monrepo Beach, where at the age of 20, Hinkler experienced the taste of aviation success. His second construction caught the sea breeze and rose triumphantly into the air. At last, he had flown. But soaring on the breeze was just a beginning. Bert's ambition was to control a real flying machine, one capable of powered flight. A real live aeroplane was a huge novelty in those days, and in 1912, Frances accompanied Bert to Philip Lytton's Travelling Theatre, where American airman Wizard Stone was displaying his Blériot monoplane. Wizard had a problem with the wings, and this presented the ever-inventive Bert with the opportunity of a lifetime. He offered up a solution to the problem, and in return was offered a job as mechanic. The following year, the pair embarked on a barnstorming tour of New Zealand. Hopefully, this was Bert's ticket to the aviation industry. But the tour to New Zealand was cut short by a disastrous crash at Napier, in which Bert was injured. Quite sensibly, he decided working for Wizard was not in the best interests of his health and returned to Bundaberg. By this stage, Bert had acquired a real taste for flying, and after brief stints at home and Sydney, set sail for where the action was, England. He soon found a job at Sopwith Aeroplane Works, but before too long, the drums of World War I started beating, and he signed up to the Royal Naval Air Service. He served in France and Italy as a mechanic, observer and pilot, and near the end of this war to end all wars, was given an officer's commission. Like many pilots, Hinkler had difficulty settling after the war, but one thing caught his interest: the Commonwealth prize of £10,000 for a successful flight back to Australia. His initial choice of aircraft was the Sopwith Dove, but during time trials, he became acquainted with the A.V. Rowan Company designers. Eventually, he decided on an experimental Avro Baby and quietly set about planning his life's ambition, a globe-hopping solo flight home to Australia. He set off on May 31st, 1920, but was forced to abandon the trip in Italy. War had broken out in the Middle East, and further travel was impossible. Thermos and some sandwiches. 8 3/4 hours later, he landed on the Foundry Green, taxied up to his parents' house in Gavin Street, and parked the Avro Baby in the front yard. Bert was simply glad to see his beloved family, especially Mother Frances, but the rest of the world was amazed by his feat. He had broken his own solo record, this time flying more than 1,100 kilometres non-stop. Civic receptions, dinners in his honour, and overwhelming public praise followed. Responding with characteristic modesty, Hinkler kept a relatively low profile, although he did fly into the spotlight on one occasion, performing a spontaneous aerobatic display for the public in the sky over Bundaberg, famously flying underneath the traffic and railway bridges over the Burnett River. He also showed the many benefits of aircraft and flight by delivering mail to a number of nearby Queensland country towns. In due course, his visit home came to an end, and he made an eventful flight through New South Wales, with cyclonic winds forcing him to land on the beach near Stockton. After a brief stay in Sydney, Bert Hinkler returned to England and Southampton, where he moved into a rented cottage at Hedge End with Nance Jarvis, a nurse he'd met on leave during the war. They had plans drawn up for Monrepo, a 2-storey brick cottage at Thornhill, which would become their home. Over the next few years, Bert built up a reputation as one of the world's best aviators. As chief test pilot for A.V. Rowan Co., he was invaluable, working at the cutting edge of aviation design and experimentation. He became good friends with key aviation figures, such as Roy Chadwick, who would later design the famous Lancaster bomber. He also enjoyed the opportunity to compete in a number of flying contests and races, such as the Killjoy Cup and the Schneider Trophy. But Hinkler wanted more. The dream of flying from England to Australia just wouldn't go away. And by 1928, he was ready to give it another shot, this time in a specially modified Avro Avian. For 15 and a half days, he leapfrogged across continents. London to Rome, Rome to Malta, Tobruk, Calcutta, Singapore, having his fair share of adventures along the way. He was arrested in Italy, slept under a wing in the desert, and met up with Bill Lancaster and Chubby Miller in the jungles of Southeast Asia. Eventually, after fighting incredible odds, he finally landed in Darwin to be greeted by a crowd of well-wishers. Most pilots could not have made the perilous 2,000-mile journey through violent weather. Thanks to Hinkler's legendary skills in piloting and navigation, he was able to take on the elements and survive. Once again, Hinkler found himself the subject of accolades and tributes. But learning from his earlier experience, this time used the media attention and publicity to his advantage. Bert announced that he would soon embark on another epic trans-world flight from England to Australia. On the foggy morning of January 7, 1933, Hinkler took off in his Puss Moth on what would become his final journey. Sometime between 7 and 8 o'clock that night, for reasons that remain unknown, Hinkler crashed on the Pratomagna Alps in Italy. Surviving the impact, he managed to crawl away from the wreckage. However, his injuries were severe, and Bert Hinkler, at the age of 40, died alone on the hills of Italy. Heavy snow hampered the efforts of search parties, and his body was not discovered until 4 months later. The world had long given up hope he would be found alive, but the news was still devastating. Public reaction was overwhelming. Tributes flowed in from all around the world, as such was Hinkler's fame. The Italian government held a majestic state funeral with full military honours as a mark of respect. It was unprecedented for an Australian to receive a state funeral in Italy, and thousands of mourners lined the streets of Florence to pay their respects. Hinkler's body, in long, slow procession, was carried to its final resting place, the Cimitero agli Allori Cemetery, where it still lies today. The loss was deepest for those closest to him in private life. His wife was distraught, and the family back home in Bundaberg were devastated that his life was so tragically cut short. He was a brilliant pilot with a quick wit, an inventive mind, and through his own determination, achieved a lifelong ambition to become master of the sky.
Okay, this is how Bert Hinkler flew his glider. It was his mother's ironing board that he used, and he laid on it like this, and he steered. Are you steering? He steered with the...
If you come behind me, you'll see the screen.
Steered with that there. See the post underneath there?
Oh shit, I nearly hit a tree. I'm flying like Bert Hinkler. Turtle Toe Rick.
Upside down, Miss Jane.
Oh,
Doing
can you see the
acrobats.
screen?
Yeah. Oh geez, you're not very good.
I think it needs oil and I might crash.
At the rate you're going around and around in circles.
Oh, not very good on your balls.
What's wrong?
Very squishy on your tummy.
This is how Bert Hinkler actually flew his first flight. On his mum's ironing board
In a glider.
in a glider that he'd made himself. You're over the ocean.
I know.
You'll crash into the sand. You're allowed to look up.
Why?
Look at me.
I can't.
Why? Why?
Because I'm looking where I'm going.
Ah, Bert
I'm
Hinkler.
squeezing my boobies off.
They're squashing the titties. You right to go? Good morning. Bert Hinkler, Redback speaking. I'm going to fly the Avro baby. Shit.
I don't think that was supposed to happen.
No, I don't know what the hell. I'm flying the Avro baby.
He was a tad shorter.
How are we going there?
I'm out of fuel. That means I'm in deep shit.
Thank you.
Remember, it was only.
He was a little fella like you. And where are you going to fly?
I'm going to fly from England to Australia.
All right, away you go. Start her up.
I don't know how.
Well, here we go, folk. Welcome to the Bundy Rum Distillery. Unfortunately, we can't take any movie or photos whilst on the tour because of the extremely high alcohol content in this place. Everybody's watches, phones, everything has to be stored away. Let's go find Mum.
Bats are made from American white oak. Generally we use new oak, and occasionally we use timber from bats that we are relocated. First thing we do is machine the edges of the staves. This will form the seal. We then put a groove at the end of the staves, which will then slot on the base of the bat. All the timber is moved to the bond store and we assemble the base of the bat. The staves are then stood up and hammered onto the boat. There's no grooves or nails used in the building of the bats, but mainly use natural products such as bulrushes, timber dowels and linseed meal. These aid in the sealing of the bat in the initial stages. Next we put the hoops onto the bat. These bind everything together. Each bat holds approximately 75,000 litres, so there's a tremendous amount of pressure to contain. Finally, we lay the lid of the bat, which has an access hatch set in. The bat is sealed and filled with raw rum and let sit for 2 years until it's ready for bottling.
Prime Minister's in the back.
Aussies having a crack? Having a nut more like?
Australians optimistic. They're just whiny and negative.
No! I can't take this. Can you?
We can't let our statue slip.
From Albany to Bundaberg. Isn't it time we stood up for the values that made us famous? I've run out of oil, haven't I?
Mate, no one doesn't like us. Who swims towards a shark attack? Yes, that one. That's who.
No one does optimism like us. Combining a protest with a pirouette. And no one has a crack like us. Coming back from a broken neck to broken records. These are the values that we value. We must unite behind them and celebrate with a
drink as distinctive as we are. Thank goodness for our national nectar. Actually, don't thank goodness. Thank Graham. And the 34 other legends who made this Aussie spirit with plenty of this Aussie spirit. Australia, no one does life like us, and no one does rum like us. Bundaberg rum, unmistakably ours.
To hold to about 2.5 billion, but at the moment we're only holding about 2 billion.
Bundaberg rum has not only become the highest selling rum in the country, but an Australian icon. Its global profile has been low, but that hasn't been an issue because 95% of everything the distillery produces is sold in Australia. The rum's fans are fiercely loyal, with social media a key way they interact with each other and the brand.
For us it's great because we get instant feedback in terms of what they're thinking, feeling, and we use that feedback in terms of what we're going to do next.
You get real time, no holds barred opinions, and some of them are positive and some of them are negative, but it's fantastic.
The distillery started as a result of a problem: what to do with unwanted molasses from the sugar mill. The molasses was heavy, difficult to transport, and the cost of making it stock feed not worth the effort. So rum was the answer.
Culturally, that's what this place has always been. A handful of sugar millers coming together and say, we're going to start a distillery. They pull that off in a few short years, and they're off producing rum that's been exported around the world. I think that's part of this place, but it's part of Australian culture, Australian DNA. That's where some of the greatest ideas have come from try, and fail until greatness happens.
Rum is made using molasses, water and yeast. 3 ingredients, cheap and close at hand for the sugar farmers back in 1888. Molasses, a natural byproduct of sugarcane crushing, is still pumped from the local sugar mill.
We're inside Bundaberg molasses wells. This is the largest. It holds just over 5,000 tonne. It's hot when it comes across, so we cool it down before we put it inside these wells. And the reason we do that is because reactions can take place and it will spoil the molasses.
Every year, from June to December, 10 million litres of molasses is pumped into 3 wells, the equivalent of 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The next ingredient, tap water, is demineralised to remove any taste. So the liquid will carry only the flavour of the final rum. The third ingredient, yeast, the smallest but arguably the most crucial part of the rum recipe, has travelled the furthest.
Our yeast is known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. It's the most important part, that's what we say. Without the yeast, you don't have rum.
The yeast is Bundy's fingerprint, and they protect its integrity.
It has to be kept at the right temperature to keep this viable but not growing. We keep it in the fridge at 4 degrees. The ideal growing temperature for us for production is around 30-32 degrees. So our incubators and our yeast vessels are kept at those temperatures.
Well, I just found Mum. Let's go and find out what she's up to. Must be buying some rum. This is for Alex. Where's Mum? Do it again. Do it again.
Have you decided yet?
She's drinking.
I've had 2 real rums, 4 liqueurs, and this is the 4th one. This is the chocolate.
What are you drinking?
Rum. This is the chocolate liqueur rum. Let's see what it tastes like.
I can't stop laughing. Oh, you're even laughing. It's on video. This is hilarious.
I think it might be nicer with a little bit of milk or cream or something.
Oh no, it's a liqueur. You don't spoil it with milk.
It's delicious. I like the other ones better. Which surprises me. I thought this would be my favourite. But it's not. Toffee, yeah.
You're a funny girl.
And I've got to hold myself up with this barrel.
She's leaning on the barrel. Wait a minute. Well, you guessed it, peeps. We're at the Bundaberg ginger beer factory in Bundy. It's called the Big Barrel, and as you can see why it's called the Big Barrel. Bundaberg's been the home for the home ginger beer brew for many, many years. And this is old Cliffy in here. I don't think we can see old Cliffy that well because it's shaded glass. But old Cliffy was the very first truck they used to deliver their Bundaberg ginger beer in. So I'll see if I can get a picture of Cliffy for you. Sorry it's not clear. She was an old Chevy by the looks. Got to go around the hedge here. An old Chevy. Old Cliffy, 1929 fully restored Chevy, and aptly named Old Cliffy. The owner of the Bundaberg brewed drink, Cliff Fleming, had quite an interesting career, and that's what it was named after, him. And that used to deliver the soft drinks, but I know it's very difficult and very hard to see when you're behind a mirror, but there's nothing I can do. So let's go and find out how they make ginger beer, shall we?
Bundaberg ginger beer barrel. We're going to do a touring thing, self-guided, learn all about Bundaberg ginger beer, and there are other products. And this lovely lady over here is going to tell us all about what we're going to do and see and how it works.
So welcome to the Bundaberg Barrel. We're home to the world's famous ginger beer. Do you like ginger beer?
Do you like ginger beer?
Wonderful, then you're in the right place.
I know.
So behind this wall here we have an interactive experience all about the history of ginger beer. So there's history, memorabilia, touchscreens, activities, and the taste test of every single drink that we make. And we make 16.
16?
So if you're thirsty.
My goodness.
Gracious me.
And it's all non-alcoholic, isn't it?
All non-alcoholic brewed soft drink. Absolutely.
Excellent. And how long has it been going for?
Bundaberg brewed drinks have been going since the 60s, but we're 11 years old this year.
Okay.
Just babies.
All right. Well, I'll just cut this because I'd be here all day otherwise. This is where we'll be going to have a taste test. And then we're going to go in and have a look around. Sounds interesting. Step back in time and discover the history of ginger beer.
Bubble, bubble, twirl and trouble, making ginger beer in a jar like this. I remember my mother making ginger beer. Blew up once.
Did it?
I do recall, yes.
We're going to do the tour of the ginger brew factory.
Come on, I've got lotions, I've got pills for all your ills. Just step into my well-stocked apothecary and I'll mix you a cure, whatever your need.
4 customers. Excellent. Now, how can I help you?
I want this one. I like this one.
My memory's not what it used to be. I keep forgetting where I put things.
Loss of memory? I believe I can fix up something for you. Let's see. Some tincture of muriate of iron, sulfate of quinine, some brandy, and distilled water. And now for my secret ingredient. I found a ginger ingredient. Take a tablespoon 3 times a day for a week. And don't forget.
I found my marbles.
Not him.
one.
Which is the one you're talking about?
I like this one.
Can you help me? I'm losing my hair. I'm too young to get bald.
Let's see. We will need salts of lead, some sulphur, essence of bergamot, bay rum, alcohol, and a pinch of salt. Ginger is a good general stimulant, but I'm not sure what it does for hair. Oh, what the heck? Let's throw in some of that as well. Rub this on every night for 3 weeks.
It's a miracle. I've got hair. Thanks.
Don't worry about it. Okay, tell us a bit about it anyhow. What's all these brewed drinks? How long have they been making so many?
Well, some of them come and go, some of them are new, some are older ones. The modern era of our fruit drinks started about 2010.
Whoa-wee!
So beer is 50 next year.
Jeez.
It was released in 1968.
And the best beer in the world,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
That's true. It makes up 60% of our total sales.
That's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how can you grow old with age arrogantly, like that says?
With attitude.
Attitude, yeah, I reckon.
Lovely.
All right, we're going to have a taste, aren't we, Mum?
Yes, yes, yes. Try them all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
We're on the sugarcane train at Bundaberg Botanical Gardens, that's right. Have a look how beautiful this is. This is our little train we're going to travel on. That man's going to say tickets please. How many times did Dad say tickets please?
Well, you've got to do something when your memory fails, so.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
This is true. Just tell him not to cross the line, then he's telling nothing.
And here's our little engine.
There's an engine there, in the hedge there, see? Steam engine.
Oh, there is too! Look at that! Of course! What a great thing that is, look. And have a look up here at this, isn't it beautiful? A beautiful, beautiful park. Our little engine. Going to be a great... Well, here we go. Train. Hello. Little boy, little girl. That's the Bert Hinkler Museum in there, where we just came from. I said Bert Hinkler. This is the Botanical Gardens in Bundaberg. How pretty is it? Beautiful. Goody, goody. Look out for trains. waving. Wavy, wavy. Get a photo. These are the best botanical gardens we've ever seen, apart from Townsville. Now we just got off our little train. In the background's a lovely river. Birds you can hear everywhere. This is our little station from riding our little train, our cane train. Listen to the birdies. You can drive around here, which we're going to do as well. But at the moment, it's lunchtime. So we're going to have some lunch. But before we have that, we're going into the Historical Museum, which is just in here. So let's check this place out, shall we? Mon Repose, where you will witness an amazing journey. This is all the journey of the turtles. We'll go and check it out, shall we? Oh, here's my namesake, Narelle. Turtle toe, turtle toe. You got glass the other side, haven't you? I haven't. Turtle toe, that's Tubby Turtle. Tubby Turtle.
Is it real?
No. He's not a stuffed turtle.
No, but I thought the shell might have been, but it's not.
And there you go. Bit of a museum-y thing here. Quite interesting. All these boardwalks around here are probably for when the turtles... When's their season, Liz?
Earlier in the year. January to April. This is a boardwalk, there's nobody under it. Under the boardwalk.
Okay, this must be where the turtles come in. I wonder why they picked this area. Why they come into, is it the rocks or?
Because this is where they're born.
Where they nest or?
No, they come back to where they were born.
Protect turtles during the breeding season. Beach is closed from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. from October to April. And that's where the turtles obviously breed.
They come up and they dig
into the rocks, maybe. Into the sand on the shore, do they? Oh, there's a turtle.